one thing that makes laser light weird is that the light's all in phase with each other. I think that's lined up to look here. All the crests are lined up with each other, and all the troughs are lined up with each other. So instead of, one going this way and the other one going like not quite in phase with it, all of them are going that same way. They're all going up and down at the same time. That means they have the same wavelength and the same frequency. That also means that they're all exactly the same color. They have all the same wavelength. And that's another thing that makes laser light unique looking. And there's one more thing, and we'll learn about polarization in the next thing. But all the photons that a laser emits are polarized the same way. And that basically means, some light might be polarized up and down like this, some light might be polarized side to side, some might be sideways like this. But all the light that comes out of the laser is all the same way. If it started out horizontal, then they're all horizontal. But it might have all started out, slanty ways like this. And that would mean that all the photons that come out are slanty ways like that. So this part is where stimulated emission is happening. So laser is an acronym. It stands for light amplified by stimulated emission of radiation. Radiation is just light. So that flash bulb that he drew, that emits a photon first. It goes into the gain medium, excites the electrons, puts them up to their higher energy level. They might be stable up there for a while, which is what he said metastable was, but they're still unstable long term, so eventually they'll drop back down. When one of them drops back down, that emits its own photon. This is where that photon is the same phase as the original photon that came in from the flash tube that originally excited this one. It's the same phase as that photon, it's the same wavelength and frequency and same polarization. When this one comes off, it stimulates another electron to drop back down and emit another photon, which is why this is the stimulated emission. When this one emits a photon, that stimulates this one to emit a photon, and then he's talking about those mirrors. It bounces back and forth between those mirrors, and more and more photons hit more and more electrons and excite them and cause them to emit more photons, and that's where the light gets amplified, because there's more and more photons being produced, so there's more and more light. So that's where the whole light amplified by stimulated emission of radiation happens. And if you can say that acronym and understand what you're saying, then you're on your way to remembering how a laser works, so you don't think it's magic every time.